Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Games to Play When You're Bored of WoW. So this time up we've got TERA, a Korean MMO with an interesting combat system. We'll get to that later. The max level is 60 in this game, which you might think is pretty low considering other MMOs, but being a Korean MMO, TERA is pretty grindy. A lot of the game is the leveling process, as with other Korean MMOs it takes you really have to grind out those levels, and it takes a long time to get to that max level. When you do get to max level, there isn't a lot of endgame content. You get like the PvP battlegrounds, which would be interesting in a few instances, but it's not like games like WoW, where pretty much the entire game is at the end game. With this MMO, it's all about the leveling and all about the journey on the way, which is interesting, but may not be for some people. The combat system though is, in my opinion, the best part of this game. It's mouse controlled and you actually have to aim where you're going to hit. So the only other game that comes to mind that sort of did this was I guess Dungeons and Dragons Online. Basically you've got your cursor in the middle of your screen, and moving your mouse even without clicking moves the camera and also moves the cursor. So you can see in the gameplay there, you'll be able to see it. Basically, your clicks, both side clicks, do an ability. So I'm on a warrior here, which is sort of a dual wielding sort of character. The left click will do the basic swing combo, my right click will make me roll forward, which I can then press spacebar or 2. Spacebar is a mechanic that will sort of recommend the next move in your combo, and you can just press that to continue on with your combo. But you can see the action bars down there, so your clicks do abilities and your numbers do abilities, but it's not like WoW where you just target and spam buttons and it just locks on and attacks. You actually have to aim at them, aim where you're hitting. So that's probably the most interesting system about this game, and I'd recommend trying it out. It's free to play now, by the way, so definitely try it out if you're looking for a refreshing combat experience, even if you just want to try it out, because it is fun. Classes in this game include Archer, Berserker, Lancer, Mystic, Priest, Sorcerer, Slayer, and Warrior. The Archer is your basic, bow and arrows sort of thing, rapid firing, got a bunch of skills that way. The Berserker is with a two-handed axe, slow, heavy, but does a lot of damage with each hit. The Lancer is your tank. He has a lance and a shield and basic tank class. The Mystic, Priest, and Sorcerer are your basic sort of casters, healers, that sort of thing. The Slayer is big two-handed sword. It's sort of a mix between the Berserker and sort of the Warrior. He's got a big two-handed sword, but he's a bit faster than the Berserker and stuff like that. And then the Warrior is what you're seeing here, sort of a dual wield. He's a hybrid of he can tank as well, sort of a dodgy tank mixed with a melee DPS. The Warrior is actually the hardest class to play in the game, while other classes are balanced in other MMOs. TERA actually shows you a skill requirement for the classes, so it recommends skill required 2 out of 5 for the Archer, 3 out of 5 for the Berserker, 4 out of 5 for the Lancer, 4 out of 5 for the Mystic, 3 out of 5 for the Priest, 3 out of 5 for the Slayer, 2 out of 5 for the Sorcerer, and 5 out of 5 for the Warrior. So you can see that some of the classes are actually pretty hard to use, while others are really easy and simple. This game has a pretty big world with a lot of zones, but it's not as big as some other games like WoW or Guild Wars 2. I guess you could compare it to vanilla WoW maybe. I'll show you a map on the screen now, you can see there. So yeah, it's a pretty big world, plenty big enough. The zones are pretty large in comparison to your character, and you do get a mount, I think, pretty close to the start, level 15 or something, and it's sort of instant mounts that makes travel a bit easier at the start, instead of just having to walk everywhere. But I do recommend you give this game a try, especially if you're just sick of the basic sort of target MMO combat system. This is a really fun combat system, and it sort of makes up for the fact that it's really grindy in places. So definitely try it out if you're interested. It's free to play, and you can pay for certain bonuses in the game think it's like an elite service or something. But yeah, definitely try it out if you're interested, and recommend the next game for me to play in the comments. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe.